Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. I was not just trying to think about what to start off with first, and I think I should probably start off with the one that the segment that pissed me off the most. And I'm pretty sure everyone else probably got upset about this scene also, and that's the Sasha scene because there's a lot that was just it was stupid, it was unavoidable, it was cruel, and it was heartless. All those emotions happen in that scene. I don't understand why Lucy kept telling them to not interrupt the broadcast. There's a point where Brando's about to walk up there and be like, "Yo, listen, I gotta sit there and stop this." It's like, no, 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 no. It's already started. You're just gonna sit there and humiliate her even more. How? 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 When she said, "Don't stop this because you're gonna humiliate her even more," I stood there and was just like, is there anything that's going on inside that head of yours? I don't understand how she even uttered out those words. But it gets worse. So this whole thing continues. There's one point where I guess Brandon tries to go up there and stop it again, and the PA kind of backs him out or backs him away. Or I'm like, Brando, can you just please take out this idiot and stop this damn broadcast? It gets worse. While this whole thing is going on with the baby accessories, and I'm just sitting there talking about babies over and over and over again. I also felt a little torturous. I also felt like this was kind of a torturous scene to sit there and watch. It was so sad and so painful watching this woman um deal with these emotions that she's been suppressing for so long. Um, it was just kind of a torturous scene to watch. Then it gets worse because Sasha's on God knows what, and she starts to hallucinate her son. I'm like, so so everyone just felt like this whole thing should just continue. Okay, all right. I mean, like Lucy said, she can't be any more embarrassed. So now she's hallucinating, and finally, because this is on live air, everyone's sitting there watching this. Nina's watching this. Miss Wu is watching this. Everyone's watching this. And finally, Brando's like, the hell with you. The hell with you. I'm stopping this ish right now. So she shuts down. He comes in. He shuts down this whole thing. And I guess her name is Haven, whatever. The biggest piece of garbage started blaming Sasha and deception, saying that she should have been camera ready. She should have went with the flow. My blood was boiling so much that you ever been mad at somebody to a point where you're just looking at them and you're just like, why are you still drawing breath? That's how I felt every time this woman opened up her mouth to say something more disgusting than before. So Miss Wu comes in and just shut that whole ish down. This is after the other woman is apologizing and things of that nature. She comes and she just shuts this whole thing down. Now the other woman, I guess I don't remember her name is. She pretty much she's quitting. She was like, "Yo, I'm done. I'm gonna take a break from this whole thing," because she saw how that whole scene went down and she was just so not comfortable. She just left. And I guess Miss Wu is a part. She's a contributor to Deception. She looks at Haven. She's like, "Yeah, listen, this can go two ways. You can either be publicly embarrassed, for treating a woman that lost her child in such a cruel manner, or you can sit there and say thank you. You can keep it moving." So she begrudgingly said thank you. And then she walked away. And I was still so pissed off at that scene. But afterwards, she put Lucy on notice, like, yo, you need to sit there and keep a closer eye on your talent. Talking about how much money she spends and things of that nature. Mrs. Wu has a heart, but, she's also a businesswoman. And, you know, even before this whole thing went down, Lucy kept saying, there's something off about Sasha. There's something off about Sasha. Well, clearly it wasn't enough because you allowed this woman to sit there and go on camera and all the stuff that went on afterwards. So I don't know exactly how much you actually cared enough to do anything about. Um, and granted, to some extent, I guess, Maxie's also responsible for not keeping a better eye on this whole situation. But when it really comes down to it, this is Sasha. This is on Sasha because Sasha did not sit there and handle her grief and pretty much her grief and in a better way. It got to a point where they literally rushed her to Kevin. And I'm just like, did no one. Oh God, I feel like I'm repeating myself because I've said this so many times. I'm like, therapy. Nothing, no one bothered to sit there and say that maybe this woman should sit there and be in therapy. Now I know, she was in NA and AA and everything like that, but I'm like, no one bothered to sit there and mention therapy. So now they got her there. And Kevin's like, yo, she needs to be on a 72-hour hold. Like, just straight up. And she's all like, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Yada, yada, yada. I'm like, the fact that it actually got this far, the fact that it got this far is astonishing in the worst way possible. Now, I sit there and say, yeah, they should have kept a better eye on her. But at the end of the day, this was Sasha that should have handled this. Well, I'm not going to sit there and say it should have handled this better. But, I mean, this is the results of not dealing with your grief. This is the results right there. So, yeah, this I hate to sit there and say this is on her because she's been through a lot. But when you have issues, you have problems, you gotta, you know, sometimes you gotta sit there and be your own savior and kind of realize, you know what, I can't do this by myself. And this is the results of what happens when you don't do that. Now, the next, I guess this didn't piss me off. This was more like, you deserve this. You deserve all of this. And I do not feel bad for you at all. I think everyone knows what I'm talking about. Yep, that dingbat idiot Carly. So after Sonny learns about, Carly's situation with the hotel from Nina, he goes down there and he talks. He wants to sit there and talk to Carly. Now Drew, before that happened, Drew was like, listen, I'm gonna tell you something you're not gonna like. And he talked about how he tried to broker a deal with Nina to sit there and help Carly out. Even though that Crimson was Aurora's biggest asset that he was going to lose, he was going to take a major hit. He wanted to do it for her. Carly, being good old Carly, is all like, oh, well, I'm not your problem and I don't need your help and this, that, and the third with an attitude. I'm like, this dude is literally stupidly willing to risk his own company to get your ass out of the financial hole that you put yourself in. And you want to sit there and throw attitude at him? Really, boo? So, Sonny comes in, and at first she's like, oh, I don't want to sit there and help you. This, like, oh, I don't want your help. Oh, no, first he was like, she was like, oh, I don't want to talk to you. I'm talking to Drew. Drew's like, no. You want to talk to him. because clearly you're not going to take my help. So I guess he forgot his phone, or he said he forgot his phone. I don't exactly remember what. Um, Honestly, to tell you the truth, it looked like he just went back there to overhear stuff. But anyway, so he's like, yeah, I heard about the situation, and Carter's like, oh, from Nina, from Olivia. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna sit there and work it out. I don't need your help. I don't want your help. He's like, I'm just here to try to help. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're the mother of my kids. I want to sit here and try to help. He said to Nina, I'm not gonna just let her twist in the wind. But Carly wanted to give him a hell of an attitude. So he sat there. He was like, yo, listen, the next time you're here and you got to pay to sit there and be in this pool, and you think of all the times that, did you enjoy working here and own this company, just remember, I offered. And he walks away. And you know what? I know people have been giving Sonny hella smoke. Okay? I've been one of them. But in that instance, he did sit there and try to help her. And her dumbass actually sat there and was like, oh, well, I'm going to sit there and figure something out. Got an attitude at him. And he said what he said. And I 100% agree with that. So afterwards, now she's sitting at the pool and she's crying and everything like that. And I'm like, I know I'll talk about how much of a dick I can be. And it's not like I don't have a heart. But I don't feel bad for her at all. Later, Drew comes over and Carly's like, no, this isn't your fault. You and Michael told me not to do it and I did it anyway. How even Nina was like shocked. Nina was, when she was next to talking to Sonny about Crimson and everything like that. And Nina was like, yo, this is like even me sitting there buying Crimson is a risky business, as a risky move. And even she was shocked at the asinine decision that she made to dump half of her stake in a hotel towards Michael and Drew's venture. Now, Sonny, I guess, kind of blamed himself a little bit. Smith to talk about, oh, well, Carly wanted Michael to get a win, and that's why she did what she did. And, in all reality, it really doesn't matter what her reasons was, because it was stupid. It was dumb. And her Smith is saying, oh, well, I'm going to sit there and come up with something. Cool, wait. Whoa, wait. Of course, Nina also turned down the offer. She was like, I'm not going to sit there and do it. For her own reason, so that makes sense. It's crazy to me because I don't like Nina, and I've said this for a very long time. And it's amazing when I actually do a video and I'm more angry and annoyed and calling Carly names than I am Nina. That's something I got to sit there and really think about. To be honest, I really did not care about the Michael and Willow scenes. I really didn't. They talk about the child and everything like that. All their talk, I really didn't care. Um, they were there to sit there and show Cody around and things of that nature, even though they really didn't do anything. Then we went upstairs, and to be honest, does anyone even really care at this point? Don't get me wrong. It's not that I'm not a Michael fan. I do like him when he is doing stuff, but when he's just like talking about stuff like, oh, it's going to be a little brother and sister and things of that nature, and it's like, so we're just going to sit there and act like Willow's problems is just over, like the fainting and everything like that. We're just going to sit there and act like that's just not a factor. I guess we'll just get back to that maybe like later or never or whatever. Okay, cool. Um, Now Britt was sitting there talking to Kevin about society setup and about, how she got knocked in the pool and she was gonna drown and blah 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 blah. And now she's a GIF and a meme for the rest of her life. Boo hoo, no one cares. Um, I guess an orderly or somebody came to her and they're saying that um Cody's belt, was missing and apparently Britt was an emergency contact. Like, not Dante, okay? Britt. Okay, whatever. So Britt comes over there and talks to Cody, and she is just hella mean, hella nasty, hella rude. And I'm just like, ugh. And when Cody was like, and I can see why you're actually gonna, why you're doing the service for, because you have no social skills whatsoever. Um, I don't know. I guess for some people, it's supposed to be like cute or whatever. Oh, she's mean and feisty, and eventually she'll come around. And I'm just like, yeah, that's great. I could have really did without Britt's bitchy attitude, but whatever. I mean, at this point, the dude literally fell from the sky. We all know that at some point they're gonna sit there and get together. I just don't really care about the beginning, the beginning part where she's just being all, it's like, no one cares. I mean, Cody offered to give her riding lessons, and she took it like, I don't know, like an insult or something. So I guess if this was like the beginning of their relationship, I think I can kind of just skip in and just get towards the end of it, to when they actually are together, which could be a little bit less bitchy. Yeah, yeah, that was a tough scene to watch. How even Nina was like, in tears when Sonny came into the room. Yeah, so that happened also. I feel like that's pretty much about it. Yeah. So with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video.